The 2020 Knox County graduations are brought to you by Enrichment Federal Credit Union, Food City, Pellissippi State, and WVLT.
Good morning. If you would, please remain standing and face the school for a playing of our national anthem.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Chris Blue. You may remember me from being season 12 winner of The Voice on NBC, but I'm just another guy who loves you and want to see you do well in life. I want to take a moment to congratulate you, yes, you, all of the graduates for graduating this year and going on to do bigger and better things with your life. Please know that I'm praying for you and that I truly, truly believe in you, and I believe the hard work and your ethic, your work ethic, has gotten you to this point, and it'll take you much, much further. Now, I'm here to do something special for you guys, and that is the Star-Spangled Banner, which is one of the hardest songs on the planet, so I hope we do it well. Here we go. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? free and the home of the brave. Congratulations, guys.
Once again, good morning, and welcome to the first time in a long time outdoor Halls High School graduation ceremony. Before we begin, I would like to ask all in attendance, please be respectful and courteous of the ceremony today so that we can honor and celebrate each of these graduates in the way that they have deserved. I'd like to start by recognizing some very special people who have dedicated the last 18 years of unconditional love and support through the laughter, tears, blissful moments, and sleepless nights that define parenting. All of the parents, grandparents, and guardians, please stand and be honored. Thank you for all you do. And next, I'd like to recognize the folks who have instructed and invested in this group of graduates for the last 4 years. Will the best staff in Knox County schools please stand? The teachers of Halls High School. Thank you for what you do for our students. Thirdly, I would like to recognize the administration of Halls High School for being such a phenomenal team in my first year as the principal here. Would the administration, Justin Bailey, Riley Brewer, and Tucker Jackson, please stand? Thank you. And finally, I would like to recognize the distinguished guests with me on stage today. To my right, Superintendent of Schools, Superintendent Bob Thomas. School Board Representative, Mrs. Patty Bounds. Knox County Mayor, Mr. Glenn Jacobs. County Commissioner at Large, Mr. Justin Biggs. County Commissioner, 7th District, Mr. Charles Busler. And County Commissioner, 2nd District, Mrs. Michelle Carringer. To all of you, we appreciate your support through what has been an especially challenging school year. And now, most of all, I'd like to extend a very heartfelt good morning to you all, class of 2020. What a weird year, huh? On the bright side, I do think your class has set the record for the most senior skip days of any student class ever. By my count, you hold the record at 38 consecutive days, so good job. But I have learned this year that's what your class does. It sets the bar very high. Guests, if you'll indulge me for just a moment, I would like to highlight just a few of their accomplishments this year. The Halls High School class of 2020 includes 286 graduates who collectively have earned $1,032,239 scholarship dollars. Of these 286, 54 of them, seated closest to me, completed requirements for the National Honor Society. Will those students please stand? These students in the National Honor Society maintained a 3.5 GPA or higher and completed the most challenging academic courses Halls High School has to offer. In addition to that, they also completed at least 20 community service hours during the course of the school year. Very good job, students. As you're seated, of these 286 students, 82 of them are graduating with distinction. These are students who attained a B or higher overall GPA and completed a variety of other high-level accomplishments, such as earning state industry certifications or making high marks on their AP exams. 75 of the 286 graduates are graduating with honors. That means they scored at or above all of the college-level readiness benchmarks on their ACT tests. 11 of these students even scored 30 or higher on their ACT, which is a huge accomplishment. And overall, this class has earned a 20.2 average ACT score, which is over half point higher than the state average. Of these 286 graduates, 208 are eligible to receive the Tennessee Promise Scholarship, which means they can enter a trade school or a community college completely free. The class of 2020 graduates have applied to and been accepted to 44 different post-secondary institutions. Of these 286, 6 of them have earned athletic scholarships at the college level, and 4 more have signed to play on academic scholarships at the college level. And finally, of these 286 graduates, 4 of them will undertake the noble task of serving in the armed forces in the next chapter of their lives. Let's give them a round of applause. Class of 2020, you're more than just numbers and metrics, though. Your school spirit this year was off the charts, and I mean that. Keep in mind, I've been part of Halls High School in some capacity for over 10 years now, and I've never watched a senior class rally the student body the way that your group has done. I had to rope off your student section at football games just to fit all of you in the bleachers, while you cheered on the best football team Halls High School's had in the last 10 years. I can't forget to mention that. You resurrected the winter formal. You begged me, and even forced me in some respects, to allow you to plan a fall pep rally. And you did, and it turned out to be the best pep rally I've ever seen. You planned and hosted Tuesday Night Lights multiple times, which made local and regional news. And because of these things and many others, your positive impact on the culture of this school and the spirit of this school will be long-lasting. Somehow you crammed a full year's worth of school spirit into just 3/4 of a school year, and I'm extremely proud of you. I must mention the other 1/4 of the school year, though. We didn't see it coming. The truth is, nobody could have foreseen what we've experienced in the last 3 months. We were caught off guard, and we were unprepared for COVID-19. You weren't prepared to be robbed of your prom, your spring athletics, yearbook signing day, senior awards day, and so many other memorable experiences that we'll never take for granted again. We weren't prepared. Nobody was. But then again, how do you prepare for something like COVID-19? You can't. But I think that's the lesson in all of this. I've learned through COVID-19 that we aren't prepared with all of the answers for every circumstance in life. But we can be prepared to do the right thing, to make the right choice when challenges come along. There's no way we could have prepared for the sudden pandemic that we're all going through right now. But even so, I've seen you, graduates, rise to the challenge in these challenging circumstances. I've seen you work hard studying for AP exams. I've seen you race to bring your grades up in the closing days of school as your teachers learned how to deliver instruction on Zoom. I've seen you signing your name on the rock and doing your cap and gown photo shoots and having prom night at the family dinner table dressed to the nines. I've seen your drive-through graduations in your homes. And I've seen you fight to ensure you could have a graduation ceremony here today. So even though we were unprepared for COVID-19, you've made the best out of a tragic situation because you are prepared to make the right choices in challenging circumstances. And graduates, you're going to leave here today, diplomas earned, as proof that you're prepared, at least with the knowledge and skills to take you into the next chapter of your life. But what the next phase of your life entails is up to you. You're going to have choices. So the best thing you can do is prepare yourself to reach your full potential. Because today you're a high school graduate, but what you will be in 5 years or in 10 is up to the choices you make. Students, in the wake of COVID-19, I hope you've learned that your choices dictate the outcome of your circumstances. I know that you're prepared to make the right choices because I've seen you do it as you completed the closing days of your high school career and making lemonade out of lemons. But I hope you also recognize now that you're adults, that it's your duty to make the right choice not just for yourself, but for those around you. In Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from a Birmingham jail, he observes, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. We've observed this through COVID-19, and more recently as the nation stands in solidarity over the unjust deaths of George Floyd and others." It's fitting then that Dr. King wrote in the same letter, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Graduates, in circumstances like these I've just mentioned, that you will again encounter in your lives, I pray that you choose to stand for what is right, rather than just turning a blind eye. We all have a duty to stand up for what is good. Students, my final advice as you prepare yourself for the next chapter in your life is to choose to set yourself up for future success rather than settling for short-lived ease. Choose the noble path over the common path. Choose to prepare yourself for unpredictable circumstances in life. And finally, choose to love those around you as much as you love yourself. In closing, I'll leave you with two quotes from two great minds, Abraham Lincoln and the arguable Stephen Colbert. Colbert says, "Life is an improvisation. You have no idea what's going to happen next, and you're mostly just making things up as you go along." It's a wise observation of our continually unpredictable circumstances. But to contrast, Lincoln says the most reliable way to predict the future is to create it. The point is, be prepared and make good choices, no matter your circumstances. Graduates, today marks a new beginning for you, and I'm very excited to see where you go from here. Thank you.
I have the honor of introducing our valedictorian and salutatorians. The student with the highest grade point average at the end of the fall semester of his or her senior year earns the title of valedictorian. And the student, or in this case, the two students, with the second highest average earn the title of salutatorian. Receiving the title of valedictorian or salutatorian is always an honor, but I would say this year's valedictorian and salutatorians should feel even greater pride, knowing the high work ethic and creativity of the class of 2020 as a whole. In just a moment, we will hear our valedictorian and one of our salutatorians speak. But first, let's celebrate our three highest achieving 2020 graduates. Students, please stand to be recognized when I call your name. With a GPA of 4.4531, congratulations to salutatorian Gavin Pretorius. With a GPA of 4.4394, congratulations to salutatorian Justin McKnight. And with a GPA of 4.4697, our valedictorian is Carly Meninet. This year's valedictorian embodies so many of the characteristics our graduating class is known for: energy, dedication to both studies and extracurricular activities, investment in herself as well as in her school, and a kind spirit. And I'm excited to hear both our salutatorian and valedictorian speak today. Delivering our first address is salutatorian Justin McKnight.
Good morning, class of 2020, Mayor Kane. Change is one of the most elusive subjects in the English language. For some, change is the beginning of new ideas and adventures. It is the force that drives ingenuity and creation and brings us to new horizons. For others, it is the breaking of tradition and a departure from comfort. It is the unknown that brings anxiety and relegates us to uncertainty. Change is absolute. It is unavoidable, and we must embrace it. This year has been one of change. We are living in a period of historic uncertainty. Many people are struggling to find their place in the world and are afraid of what the future may bring. And now, our class of 2020 is included in this group as we are cast into the world. In addition to the changes the world is currently undergoing, we find ourselves seemingly alone, dealing with one of the greatest changes of our lives to forge a path into adulthood. For the first time of our lives, we are on our own path, separated from our peers and left to our own devices. But it is in this disunity that we can find commonality among each other. We are all unsure about the future. We are all worried about the obstacles life will throw our way. We are all struggling to find our place. We are all scared of being alone. But we are not alone. Every one of us is surrounded by people who are willing to help them, whether it is family, friends, teachers, or strangers. Every person here can be the influence someone else needs to make it through the day. I encourage all of you to reach out to the people who have made a positive impact on your life and thank them. Let your family know that you appreciate them for what they've done for you. Tell your friends how much you appreciate them as well. Thank your teachers that have influenced you. In this uncertain time, it is important for us to be a positive influence on our loved ones. In my life, I have many people to thank that have influenced me in ways they couldn't possibly know. While I can't name everyone who has impacted my life, there are some that deserve my gratitude. I'd like to thank my parents for their endless love and support they've given me throughout my life, and for constantly having to deal with me. I'd like to thank my sister for always being someone I could count on for anything. I'd like to thank my incredible friends who have always had my back throughout everything. I would like to thank my teachers for giving me the tools to learn and succeed. Particularly Miss Cates has been an invaluable part of my life in teaching me to reach my potential. Mr. Johnson and Mr. Reeves have always been people I'm glad to call friends who work to inspire and help every student they teach. Finally, I would like to thank my amazing girlfriend and best friend, Kansas, for being the kindest and most caring person I know. I hope you know how much I love and appreciate you. Without all these people and more, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and for that, I thank you. On a final note, in this time of prevailing uncertainty, do not fear the future. Learn from it. While it may feel as if you are alone, know that you are not. The world is rapidly changing, and we must stand together to overcome our fears and embrace the changing tides. To live in fear of change is to live in fear of life. It is up to us to become a force of positivity and change the lives of others. As we leave these halls, we must embody the change we wish to see in the world and let this year become one of growth. Thank you.
Delivering our next and final address to the class of 2020, Valedictorian Carly Mennonette.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. Good morning to my fellow graduates, friends, family, faculty, and distinguished guests. It is an honor and a privilege that I find myself standing before you today. The idea, the reality of standing on stage in front of you has been a source of pride, of accomplishment, and a terrifying fear. When Mr. Long first told me that I was the valedictorian, my first thought wasn't, wow, all of my hard work finally paid off. My first thought was, oh my gosh, I have to stand up in front of hundreds of people and give a speech on graduation day. This is way different than standing before you on the sidelines or side court surrounded by my cheer family. I find comfort in the fact that there are so many of you out there sending your support and encouragement to me at this moment. I want to give a special thanks to my teachers, coaches, and especially my family. Thank you. As I contemplated the content of this address, I received a lot of input. I was advised to make it funny. I was advised to reflect on moments, a good memory, a bad. Many felt I should address the elephant in the room, the abbreviated ceremony due to the coronavirus threat. The most common advice was to keep it short like myself, which I found quite funny. However, that particular advice, while good, did not make this any easier. In the end, I decided to focus on 4 things which I believe summarize our school experience: realization, reflection, recognition, and reality. With that said, I want to mention the realization of the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on our senior year. The pace of our senior year was moving on schedule. We had survived and enjoyed our fall semester. For most of us, grades were on par. We experienced the excitement and electricity of our last night under the lights as our Red Devil football team closed out a successful and exciting season. Meanwhile, seniors involved in girls soccer, golf, and cross country wrapped up their final seasons. Our basketball teams tipped off, and our award-winning wrestling team hit the mats. Clubs like National Honor Society, the Robotics Club, Chorus, and the yearbook staff were all making preparations for spring concerts, community service projects, and finalizing a yearbook that will memorialize the 2019 school year forever. Little did we know, as we headed joyfully into spring break, that we would not return to the halls of Halls High. As spring break was extended, most of us celebrated the extension but remained confident that all would resume and return to normal within the next few weeks. We held out hope that baseball, softball, and tennis would resume, even if on an abbreviated schedule. Many, by this time, bored at home, made an attack plan to improve grades, to capture more high school memories, to win championships, and to finish senior year with the excitement of proms, banquets, and graduation. As COVID forced everything closed, and some of us and our parents lost income and even jobs, we began to realize the inevitable. Lost were sports seasons and championship dreams, scholarship possibilities, prom, and even a traditional graduation ceremony. Some of us shrugged it off, some cried, and some protested. However, as the mature seniors of Halls High School, we have tried valiantly to stand tall and accept the hand that we have been dealt. The truth is, we stand here lucky, fortunate that the virus has not caused devastating effects in our community. Fortunate that despite it all, we are here today graduating, and fortunate that we have found a way around this obstacle and past this disappointment. In a lot of ways, we have already moved on. We have matured. The reality is, the coronavirus pandemic of 2020 forced us into our future ahead of our expected plan. But here we are, fortunate that we are moving forward on our new path. This day, our graduation day, is an opportunity for reflection, as an opportunity to look at the path that brought us to this moment. To find these memories, we must look back, so let us do just that. Look around you. Of course, your view wanders directly to those close classmates who are your closest friends, those who suffered through Algebra 2 or AP Gov with you, those whom you celebrated the win and your Friday cookout crew. But look further, you will see faces of those you knew once upon a time way back in kindergarten. I was recently presented with a response question. The question was, what is your most valuable takeaway from your cheerleading experience? The answer was easy, it is my friends. When called upon to answer this question, I made the realization that at 18, I had already made lifelong friends. Some of us have been cheering together since we were 4, and Coach Julie took us under her wing. That's most of our lives. One of my best friends has remarkably been in class with me every year since the 1st grade. These are memorable, unforgettable experiences. So look at the faces around you and remember those moments on your elementary school playground or that awkward first day in middle school. Remember class party days, sunburns from hot field days, idiom parades, and book fairs. Remember your parents fussing about the crowded middle school parking lot. Remember the hot, crowded in-school basketball games and the freedom of 8th grade day. Remember for a moment those faces who were beside you through those years. Now, let's move on to your high school memories, more recent, clearer, but hard to pick a favorite. Find one or two that best represent your high school experience and hold these memories in your heart. It turns out that for me, my favorite high school memory is more of a feeling than one single event. It is the excitement I felt as I cheered on the sidelines on any given Friday night. The sense of pride and accomplishment when I aced a test I thought I did not perform well on. The heartwarming glow that I experienced during Tuesday Night Lights, and the bond and connection I have with my friends who have been beside me since elementary school. I will carry the memory of these feelings in my heart forever. Today is a day of reward and recognition, a day we celebrate. While I am honored and proud to be the valedictorian of the class of 2020, I beg you all to remember, we all read the books, wrote the papers, earned the grades. Some of us scored touchdowns and baskets, or won races and competitions in an effort to bring home the win for our school. Others served hundreds of hours serving clubs, doing community service, or just doing homework. Others managed school and weekend jobs. Several of our classmates faced sickness and tragedy, and yet here we are. Despite differences in how we approach school, the grades we made, the sports, the clubs, the academic achievements many have received, we are all receiving the same diploma. We are all high school graduates. Be proud. Looking into the future, we are a prepared, smart, talented, resourceful, and determined group of individuals. And we will meet the challenges of our next part of our journey head on. We will discover our own unique personalities. We will become the adults we are meant to be. And the reality is, no matter where we go or how far we stray, our families, our educators, and our true friends will be behind us every step of the way. Enjoy your senior summer and create new memories because, as they say, our journey has just begun. Congratulations, friends. We did it.
also have the special privilege of presenting the Teacher of the Year nominees. I've looked forward to this moment so much over the past weeks because it's a rare opportunity to celebrate the accomplishments of Halls High School educators. Our 3 2020 Teacher of the Year nominees have been chosen by their peers as exemplars of the good work all of our teachers do every single day. In just a moment, I'm going to describe this year's 3 candidates, but before I do, let me say thank you to every teacher in the stadium. The rows of graduates I see before me would not be here without you. Nominees, when I read your name, please approach the stage so that we may acknowledge your achievement and present you with your award. Our first nominee is known throughout the school for her kindness to students and staff alike, as well as the energy she brings to every project she undertakes. Her colleagues describe her as unshakable, compassionate, empathetic, genuine, collaborative, and loving. They have often walked by her room and seen students seeking her out for advice or just a word of encouragement. She is a natural leader among students and staff. This can be attributed to both her professional skill and her ability to form meaningful relationships. She encourages her students to lead Halls High School with spirit and innovation. We could not be more thankful for the loving leadership she has provided us. Congratulations to Miss Rebecca Smith. Our second nominee has, Our second nominee has one of the most challenging roles in any school, but her investment in her students and her work is apparent to all around her. What she does to help our students can only be accomplished by someone with the highest dedication to her profession. Her colleagues celebrate both her ability to develop creative, hands-on activities for students and her ability to keep a big smile on her face, even during the most challenging times. One of her district supervisors praised her consistent enthusiasm for her classes and her focus on ensuring that every student knows he or she matters. This educator balances tough love with humor and strives daily to meet her students' needs and shape our peer tutors into student leaders. She perseveres with compassion and laughter, and we are so pleased she chose to be a Red Devil this year. Congratulations, Miss Sarah Wheeler. Our final nominee is known throughout the school for so many of her traits: tireless dedication, an open heart, high expectations, resilience, empathy, and love. Her colleagues repeatedly cited her warm heart, ability to push students into being more than they ever imagined, and passion for her work as reasons she is admired across the staff. The only raw talent she requires of her students is a willingness to work, yet she is able to make amazing things happen through her own belief in their untapped abilities, as well as her own complete mastery of her art form. She has built a vibrant community through her style of servant leadership, and she sets an example that all those around her rise to follow, myself included. We truly cannot express our appreciation enough for the countless ways Halls High School has been shaped by this teacher. Please join me in congratulating our sole choral program teacher, Miss Elizabeth Williams. Thank you to all of our teachers who nominated colleagues, and please give one last round of applause for our 3 2020 Teachers of the Year.
Okay, graduates, are you warm yet? Now's the part you've been waiting for. When your usher signals your row to stand, please file to your right and try to maintain your 6-foot distance. When your name is called, you walk across the stage from your right to your left. And when you get on the stage, I'm going to give you the most enthusiastic elbow bump you've ever received. Be sure to pause for a photograph when you're with me. And guests, we do ask that you hold your applause until all names have been read so that all students can be recognized equally. Thank you very much.
Carly Taylor Menhennet. Justin Thomas McKnight. Gavin James Pretorius. Margaret Ann Beeler. Alexander Berry. Noah Thomas Brown. Shelby Gail Brown. Zoe Marie Cameron. Casey Gail Cannon. Laura Marie Cook. Justin Daniel Cowden. Lauren Elizabeth Curry. Sydney Ellen Curry. Josiah DeVito. Andrew James Dingus. Caroline Lane Dykes. Maxwell Austin England. Riley Justin Fish. Lauren Elizabeth Gaines. Mackenzie Ann Gibson. Jacob Cole Gregory. Luke Patrick Harrison. Tana Rose Hensley. Kennedy Shay Holbert. Ryan Matthew Howard. Eric Blake Hubble. Elizabeth Rachel Hudson. Andrew Cole Iacheta. Chandler William Johnson. Scarlett Bay Jones. Jenna Fuyon Lett. Emerson Grace Lloyd. Lindsay Dawn Leffler. Jaden Alexis Mathis. Emma Grace McIntosh. Jeffrey Sean McMurray Jr. Hannah Nicole McNally. Annie Catherine Miller. Jessica Lucia Moreno Astia. Jacob Matthew Noel. John Sebastian Ogle. Maya Bethany Owsley. Kylie Shay Perry. Nathaniel Ray Possumbaugh. Gracie May Richmond. Haley Grace Robinson. Nicholas Grant Saylor. Ian Philip Shrewsbury. John Brody Sparks. Natalie Ann Stambaugh. Allison Kelly Tucker. Jonah Michael Tudor. Colby Reese White. Taylor Grace Wood. Whitney Ruth Howard. Ashley Lynn Abbott. Annalise Marie Allen. Brooke Tyler Allen. Abigail Grace Angel. Austin Andrew Angel. Caitlin Brooke Appling. Mackenzie Paige Armstrong. Madeline Love Bray. Parker William Breeden. Chandler Sloan Baldridge. Riley Mitchell Barnard. Gavin Trace Barth. Alexis Marie Byer. Brooke Lee Bennett. Caleb Everett Berry. Ethan Michael Berry. Paul Bethencourt. Chloe Taylor Ann Bowles. Alexandra Ann Bowles. Jacob Curtis Bonus. Kiera Shay Brock. Autumn Lynn Brown. Brennan Matthew Brown. Megan Jillian Buckner. McKinley Peyton Bunton. Caitlin Sandra Burnett. Cameron Wayne Burris. Olivia Blair Butcher. Madison Kaylee Butler. Devin Michael Campbell. Hannah Lauren Cooper. Hunter Aaron Cox. Tanner Foy. Nicholas Anderson Candler. Linda Jade French. Briley Shay Fraker. Brianna Nicole Carter. Alyssa Rose Castle. Jackson Carter Cates. Joshua Paul Chamberlain. Cameron Shay Chait. Savannah Madison Chosey. Isabella Shantae Clevenger. Austin Timothy Cole. Spencer Reed Knatzer. Cecilia Yvette Kuberson. Noah Bryce Dalton. Megan Nicole Dedrick. Robert Blake DeMarcus. Mary Ann Dendrinos. Caitlin Marie Denton. Landry Reeve Dickinson. Charles Logan Dyke. Brandon James Elkins. Tanner James French. Trenton Scott French. Robert Cody George. Jacob Evan Higgins. Kylie Taylor Hines. Brandon Alexander Hodges. Carlton Eugene Isaiah Holloway. Brianna Faith Ellis. Gavin Alexander Irvin. Braden Christopher Edders. Nathan Allen Eustace. Caden Michael Fisher. Pierce Johannes Flatabo. Destiny Diamond Foster. Elena Christina Gideon. Zane Thomas Glenn. Wesley Adam Goodman. Lena Keeley Gould. Jackson Payne Gregory. Caleb Allen Hall. Caitlin Elizabeth Gray. Fabian Guevara Calderon. Sean Boyd Holloway. Joseph Cole Johnston. Jonathan Hunter Housewright. William Tyson Hutchinson. Jackson Cole LaCoultry. Isabel Kyla Ledgerwood. Cameron Chase Lieberman. Bryce Lee Longmire. Kaylee Michelle Lowe. Anitas Jaden Haluma. Logan Ryan Halverson. Anna Beth Hansard. Abigail Rose Hanson. Bailey Faith Hatmaker. Fisher Blake Hannon. Kaylin Nicole Hicks. Mason Scott Humphrey. Kinsey Grace Johnson. Zachary Roy Jones. Anessa Katana. Dylan Shane Keck. Nathan Keller. Nicholas Ryan Kilgore. Michael David Lowe. Brianna Shea Martin. Aaron Elise McAtamney. Alexis Marie McCauley. Hunter James McAfee. Cassie Lynn Norris. Anna McCall Ogle. Carrie Lorraine Owenby. Skylar Lynn Parr. Alexandria Judith Parrott. Matthew Logan Paul. Chandler Gage Lee Kitts. Olivia Grace Kitts. Adrian Nicole Chris. Lance Philip Cubis. Colson Alexander Lakin. Say it again. Dawson Isaac Langston. Brett Matthew McMahon. Kendall Brene Metters. Zoe Paige Messer. Austin May Myers. Titus Dakota Miller. Madison Nicole Minyard. Henry John Morgan. Bryce McKinley Peterson. Dathan Dean Crawford Phillips. John Michael Phillips. Matthew Blake Phillips. Sarah Sheila Pike. Jonathan Michael Blake Rowe. Alexis Rosas Sanchez. Amparo Liliana Sanchez. Johnny Sanders. Carter Joshua Satterfield. Adam Jared Schofield. Joseph Ethan Sherrod. Gwyneth Grace Murphy. Sarah Grace Nelson. Quinn Wynn. Chloe Elizabeth Nichols. Austin Bradley Norman. Caleb Jalen Pruitt. Noah Carter Quick. Luke Henderson Rayleigh. Rachel Victoria Ramsey. Thomas Scott Reed. Cooper Blake Real. Jacob Anthony Roberts. Kendall Morgan Schock. Michael Layton Shoemaker. Thomas Anthony Sylvia. Zachary Tyler Slagle. Hayden Reed Smith. Felicity Joy Fargo. Nathaniel Scott Barnell. Sylvia Janeth Vasquez Barrera. Jean-Pierre Vidal. Bethany Nicole Wade. Robert Landon Wade. Brinston Jacob Walker. Did I mess it up? Jada Marie Walton. Avery Hayes Robertson. Cody Aaliyah Robertson. Ashlyn Brooke Rodriguez. Evelise Arabella Esperanza Rodriguez. Madison Eva Tiana Smith. Ryan Michael Stiles. Haley Denise Tackett. David Nathaniel Tiefteller. Tiffany Alexandria Michelle Thomason. Amy Lynn Thompson. Morgan Elizabeth Ward. Kaylin Bristol Weaver. Chloe Dawn Weaver. Riley Mackenzie Webster. Chase Webb. Landon Shane Wells. Trent David Wilson. Michael Thomas King. JC Faith Lawson. Sarah Grace Woods. David Nathaniel Willett. Caleb James Wyatt. Bailey Isabel Thompson. Haley Marie Thompson. Brandon Nicholas Treese. Tommy Trong. Luke Alvin Watley. Ethan Luke Williams. Jacob Caleb Williams. John Jeffrey Williams. Derek James Wilson. Jake Harding Paris. Sierra Abigail Wilson. Brian Perez Arellano. Yaqueen Casas Alvarez.
Graduates, let me just say I'm extremely proud of all of you. I appreciate all that you've done for this school and this community, and I'm very proud to now be able to do what I'm about to do. If you will, please grab your tassel and move it to the left. With the authority vested in me by the state of Tennessee and by Knox County Schools, I now declare you all Class of 2020 graduates of Halls High School. Congratulations. Ushers, when you're ready.
Guests, thank you so much for being here today. After the student recessional, we will dismiss the grandstands from the bottom rows first. Security will begin ushering people to their vehicles, and campus will be locked approximately in half an hour. Thank you.
The 2020 Knox County graduations are brought to you by Enrichment Federal Credit Union, Food City, Pellissippi State, and WVLT.